Hello guys, welcome to the first video of the course. So in this video we will take some look around introduction of RX Java. So what is RX Java is and why should we use it? So we will explore some of the basic concept of RX Java. So this video is gonna totally theory. So let's start. So RX stand for reactive extension. Reactive extension is a library of some asynchronous and event based program that is using observable sequence internally. So if you will see this definition, we have three main keywords. It is asynchronous, event based program and the observable sequence. So we'll look all these three definitions and we'll try to understand what they mean. So let's understand this by an example. So we have two programmings, one is procedural and the second one is reactive programming. So in the procedural programming we have three variables a, b and c. So as you can see, a is having 10 and b is having 20, and in the c we are just summing up these both values a plus b. So at this point c is 30. So if in the later program if I change the value of b to 40 but the c is still 30, because this is not reactive. If I change the value of 40, the c is still 30. So to update the value of c, I have to execute the same line again. So that's how the c is going to update it. But let's say if you are using c in a class and you are using at multiple places, so everywhere you have to go and you have to update the value of c. So that is going to take some time. So in the reactive programming, if I have the same three values a, b and c is depending upon these two values, if I change the value of b, c will automatically become 50. So I am not giving you implementation, I'm just giving a normal example. This is just to show how reactive programming works. So we'll see the implementation in the next video. So let's talk about synchronous and asynchronous programming. So in the synchronous programming, if you have multiple tasks and these execute one by one, so the total time will be the sum of all the task execution time. So in this example you can see there are 4 tasks and each task takes some time and the total time taken by is 45 seconds. So in the synchronous programming all the tasks will be executed one by one, and in the asynchronous programming all the 4 tasks will be executed parallelly. So that will save our time. So let's talk about observer pattern. This is the basic concept of RX Java you have to understand. So in the observer pattern, let's say you have one object and all the other objects are depending upon the same object. If this object is modified, then dependent object should get notified automatically. So in our previous example we have this a and b variable and c is dependent upon a and b. So if a and b value will change, c should be notified that hey, a and b value is changed, you also have to update. So that is like observer pattern. So sometimes it is also referred as publish subscribe pattern. So we can see in the real life examples any social media platform you can take, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. So let's take an example. If I'm on Twitter and you are following me, if I tweet something you will get the notifications, right? So in that case I am playing role as a publisher and you guys are playing role as subscriber, and the connection between publisher and subscriber is to subscribe, to follow me. So that is the main concept. So the simple concept is publisher will publish the data and subscriber will get notified when the data will come, and for this one you have to subscribe to that publisher. So that is the basic concept of RX Java that you have to understand. Why should we use RX Java? So the first point is it avoid the callback. And yes, so if you're a programmer and you are using interfaces as a callback, so that will be reduced by RX Java, and threading management will be very easy with the use of RX Java. So in the Android, if you can switch in multiple threads while executing a task, so that will be very easy. And yes, asynchronous operation will be also become very easier. And in RxJava you can handle errors like very smooth and simple. Tons of operators that will be helpful for RxJava, like how we manipulate our data in stream. So Rx operators, we are going to talk about this one in the next videos. And yes, when you use RxJava, it has less code. I understand it, the less code will be so much complicated, but in the next videos we are going to see each and every step how we are going to use RxJava. So that's it for the today's video. In the next videos we are going to see basics of RxJava: observable, observer, and operator. So these are the basic concepts of RxJava that we are going to cover in the next video. So thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye.